Hi guys, this week we're going to be discussing why I still shoot with a Canon DSLR. Let's do this. I don't know what you've been told, but this here is not your home. You want some trouble, you want some... Okay, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is James Kerwin and I'm an architecture and interior photographer, and I love shooting abandoned relics, ruins, ghost towns and off the beaten path locations around the world. You can check my website out in the link in the description below. Okay, so why do I still use this camera? This is the Canon 5DSR. The reason why I still use this camera is because it was due for a change in 2020, and obviously due to the situation around the world, that's not happening now. I'm putting most of my gear purchases on hold actually. One of the main reasons why I bought this camera was actually because I love to print large format. And if anyone's checked out my website, you'll see that I sometimes print as high and as large as 1.8 meters, which is pretty big. Canon 5DSR certainly allows that, and if anyone's never used one of these cameras, the incredible detail that it produces is astonishing, especially when you consider that it's now over 5 years old, I believe. I purchased it, I believe, for around about £3,000 at the time, and I think it's been a good investment. It's got its limitations, of course. It's not great in low light, dynamic range is not perfect. I do tend to exposure bracket my work though anyway, so I don't think it's a huge problem. But when I combine this camera with something like a tilt shift lens, which I've got right here, this is an ultimate combination. And it's another reason why probably I haven't actually changed my camera as of yet, because this lens, you can't really get this on most cameras. Like this particular Canon 17mm, the bulbous one, the one with the big front element. So this lens here doesn't really work on many other bodies, and to do so I'd need to get an adapter, kind of taken away from the fact that I would need to actually get a mirrorless camera in the first place, and that I wanted to save weight. So that was one of the reasons. Another reason as well is the cost implication. I actually went on the road full time in January of 2019 and became a full-time photographer only as far back as April of 2018, so not that long ago. My first year of international tours and group trips and adventure tours was in 2019, and I was due to do more in 2020. However, I don't think until you've done that kind of work for maybe 2 or 3 years, you can properly start to invest in your gear heavily. So if I was to change this, what would I get? Well, I'd probably look to get one of the new Canons actually, an R5 or an R6, because I loved the menu, I love the wheel button on this camera, I love the viewfinder, I love the overall feel of the camera, I love the fact it fixes an L bracket and it feels like a proper camera in hand. It's not really that heavy, I think the L bracket weighs just as much as the camera, to be honest. And I love the fact the new Canons still have the same batteries. This is a third-party one, but at the end of the day, they're the same L6 batteries. That's brilliant. I also like the fact that the new Canons will allow me to fit these lenses. Like I said, you can just use the new, the new mounts, the new adapters, and I can fix that on the front. So I'll probably do that. But I would like something that has a better quality video in it. This does video, but it's, well, shit, to be honest. And I would like to do something that has more, I can grab some quick video on the go. If I set up my tripod and I'm running around, I'm capturing some video and photo, that would be ideal. So maybe something that would shoot both would be good. Most of my video that I'm shooting on there is on the Canon M50, which was also due for a change this year. That's what's my laptop, it's a theme here. And obviously it's not been working out. Would I recommend this camera in 2020? I think I would. I mean, I've seen them for £1,300 available online now. And if anyone's never used one and does like to print their work, this is a beautiful camera, especially if you've already got a Canon lens lineup like I've got just over there. Brilliant camera, works really well. It has some great unique features in it, infilometers and stuff like that built in the camera. The look and the feel of this is exactly what you get out of a Canon 5D Mark III or Mark IV. And to be honest with you, it's really treated me well. It's taken bashes, it's taken a few knocks, nothing outrageous actually. I've looked after it pretty well. But at the end of the day, it's a brilliant camera and fantastic for the money. And it's served its purpose for me. Dual card slots as well for all those
people who love a dual card slot. Okay, so what about the pros of this camera? Well, I've done a little video piece in the field and we can look at that now.
So firstly, let's get this straight. 50 megapixels is ginormous. The A7R 3 and 4 both have over 50 as well. These are all categorized as beastie cameras in my eyes. The fine detail and quality of images, etc., and the ability to crop as well, of course, make it perfect for fine art printing, as well as kind of printing in general, really, in any format. The images appearing on the screen are all shot with this camera, either with a 16-35 f4 or by making a file with a tilt shift lens, so a panoramic producing in the region of somewhere between 125 and 150 megapixels. So again, amazing print quality, in fact, sublime. Now, there are pretty much just two reasons really why you need more than 25 megapixels in my opinion. One, if you print huge gallery prints intended for pixel peepers, or two, if you regularly apply extreme heavy cropping. The 30 or so megapixels of the 5D Mark IV should be enough for, say, I don't know, 95% of photographers. So for price, for what you get, you can probably pick one of these up now for somewhere between £1,000 and £1,300. It's great value. Compared that to the new Canon EOS R5, it's a 45 megapixel camera, but currently comes in at about £4,500 at the time of producing this video, of course. Huge savings to be had if you aren't doing video and aren't shooting weddings, etc. It's got two card slots, like I've mentioned before. I don't want to return to locations always and want to protect all of my shots, so I use the two cards as a way of backing up on the go. Copying from one file to the other simultaneously as we're moving through the field. I usually try to use lower ISOs to keep the file sharp and clean, and I certainly don't enjoy using it over 800 ISO. I've used it on the occasional wedding, but it was purchased really for these other uses, to print. If you're looking for extreme detail, high resolution, print large and don't shoot in low light, but with, say, fast shutter speed scenarios a lot, then perhaps this is the camera for you, especially in discounted mode in 2020.
Am I against switching systems? No, not at all. I'm not against switching systems. It's just really that my tilt shift lenses are high value items, high ticket items if you will, and these are beautiful bits of glass. The 24 and the 17 are both beautiful bits of kit, and I would love to keep these. So whatever I get needs to be able to have an adapter that's high quality, works really well, and to be honest with you, it makes sense just to maybe stay on brand from this point on. Listen, so that's a nice, quick, easy video for this week. I've been asked this question a few times about my kit, and I thought that would cover it. If you've enjoyed this video, then please consider subscribing for more content. I've got lots of tutorial-based content sitting down coming up, but also once a week I do live in the field stuff as well. As I've mentioned, I shoot architecture, interiors, abandoned relics, and also stuff that's off the beaten path. And I'm sure you'll enjoy it, so come check it out. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. If you've got any comments you'd like to make, I'll ensure to come back to each and every one of you. Until next time, if you like this video, share it with a friend, and of course, tickle the like button. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye for now.